kids, do you want to read a book?
Hi, I'm Mama C, and I'm so happy that you're with me today so we can read a book together. Do you have your favorite stuffed animal or a fuzzy soft blanket? And we'll get started. Are you ready? Let's read a book. Let's read a book. It's something that we do together. Oh, let's read a book. Let's read a book. We'll read books no matter the weather. Some books they are cloudy, some sunny. Some books they are sad, but some are funny. So let's read a book. Let's read a book. It's one of the things I love to do with you. Oh, I'm so delighted to be with you today. And we're going to read a book today about miracles. Have you ever heard of a miracle? Do you know what a miracle is? Well, a miracle is something that only God can do because He created everything. And sometimes He'll do a miracle through us, and other times He'll use nature or something else. But this book today is called Jesus Walked on the Water. Have you ever walked on water? No, I haven't walked on water either. It's not something we can do, right? But you'll see in this book from the Bible, the story from the Bible, Jesus walked on water. So let's start. Jesus Walks on the Water. Written by Nancy Sanders, illustrated by Elizabeth Swisher. The crowds were fed with fish and bread. The day was almost through. Then Jesus spoke to those close by and said, "Here's what to do. Go climb into your boat right now and row out on the lake. Continue to the other shore. I'll follow you soon. Don't wait." And even though some still weren't sure that Jesus was God's Son, the wise apostles soon obeyed, and quickly they were gone. Alone at last, the Savior paused and looked up to the trees. He whispered low, "I'm coming now, dear God, to talk with thee." So Jesus walked up in the hills and talked to God in prayer. As night grew dark, alone with God, he spoke of all his cares. But meanwhile, out upon the lake, a fierce and wild storm blew. The winds grew strong and lightning flashed. The waves grew higher too. The huge waves crashed. The wild winds tossed the wet disciples' boat. "Please help us, God," they prayed aloud. "Help keep us all afloat." The men crouched down inside their boat. "What should we do?" they cried. "If no one comes to rescue us, we'll surely drown and die." Then suddenly a frightful sight stood out among the waves. "A ghost!" they screamed. The wild wind howled. They shouted, "Go away!" But Jesus calmly called to them and said, "Don't be afraid. I'm the one who stands right here. I'll rescue you today." Then Peter yelled out from the boat, "Sir, if it's really you, just tell me to come over there. I will walk on water too." "All right then," Jesus answered him. "Here, come along with me." So Peter climbed out from the boat. He stood upon the sea. He took one step and then one more. He walked on water too. But as he walked and looked around, the fear inside him grew. The high waves splashed about his head, and Peter felt afraid. Right then, his feet began to sink. "Please save me, Lord," he prayed. So Jesus grabbed his hand before he sank beneath the waves. Then Jesus asked, "Why did you doubt, O man of little faith?" They walked together to the boat and climbed in with the men. Instantly the storm died down. The sea grew calm again. His helpers looked at him with joy, amazed at what he'd done. With awe-filled voices, they all cried, "You really are God's Son." The end. Wow, that's one of my favorite stories about the many miracles of